Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It's another day off for me and I figured uploading on my day offs would be the most convenient. It's not like I go out to hang out on my own these days. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a couple of times I almost got arrested while on probation for something stupid. I really almost went down bad for a couple of the dumbest reasons ever, considering that I would have been sitting in jail right then and there. I should have seen it coming, really. I know I'm already down bad too, so that just would have been a nail to my coffin. Before we get into this video, please make sure to leave a like and why not a comment too. Subscribe if you're new to my content, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload. Share this video to anyone that's almost been arrested before, and let's play I Almost Got Arrested Again Twice. Once upon a time, I was door dashing on a cold Wednesday morning last year. It was my second day having my stepmom's spare car to myself, as she pretty much let me use it as a personal car. It was also my first time driving in a couple of months since I had lost my Toyota Camry. I was looking for something to do all morning. All I had planned for the day was to come up with some quick bread, smoke a sack, and head back home. I couldn't bring weed at home because my stepmom is super against that, and I didn't want my odor to jeopardize my living situation at the time. I kept door dashing to kill the time until one of the homies I hit up got back to me to pick him up and hang out. He could only chill for a couple hours because he wanted to go home and have time to get ready for work and finish off a couple chores. I went back to my crib to grab something to eat and went to his house around 12:30 in the afternoon. We couldn't hang in the house, so we just went to the gas station after I picked him up to grab some munchies for the smoke session we were going to have. After that, we pulled up to a parking ramp to get our smoke session on. To be honest, the spot we went to wasn't the most secluded spot ever. It was a permit-only parking ramp, and we didn't have a pass either, of course. After we got there, we immediately started smoking. I rolled the windows down because I didn't want the car to reek like weed. It's more than just the police I had to worry about when it came to that. But that was probably also a bad idea because the parking ramp was reeking like weed within minutes. The old couple ladies gave us a mean stare for about, but we figured they would go about their business. Well, we were surely mistaken. It was actually pretty funny because my buddy and I were literally talking about how he would get out of this situation if I just told them it was only him smoking, given it was his shit, and I wouldn't be able to bring him back home, let alone go home myself with a DUI on my ass. Just about 10 minutes into the smoking sesh, two police cars pull up inside the parking ramp. My buddy and I roll up our windows, and the cops parked right near us. They get out of their cars to come knocking on our windows. I rolled the windows back down, and we were being questioned immediately. They asked if we were both smoking, as if the answer was pretty obvious, but I kept eye contact with them, and we both pretty much told the cops what we rehearsed. I literally had taken a bubbler ripped off some weed seconds before those cops were at our windows. They told us to get out of the car. They searched and ID'd us and didn't find anything. One of the cops recognized my last name and the address on the ID at the time and brought it up in the conversation, sugarcoating my situation and asking about how my relationship is with my fucking mom. Then they asked if I knew anything illegal that was in the car. I told them no, hoping that they didn't find anything. They already had probable cause to search the car as soon as they smelt the weed, responding to a call in the parking ramp. I didn't know if there was anything illegal in the car because my dad was the one who had it with all of his junk inside. A cop found a bunch of walnuts sitting around and made a joke about it. Some about cops. They always like to be the jokester until they get to arrest somebody. Luckily, he didn't find anything bad. They took my friend's piece and grinder. We didn't have any weed left. They left us off with a warning. They didn't even bring up the fact that I was on probation. After the cops let us go, I waited for them to pull off until we left. We went back to the gas station just to put gas in the car, and then we went to a Taco Bell parking lot by this house to relax from essentially almost getting arrested. We already didn't have any more weed to smoke, but his homie had lost his bubbler and a grinder. I wasn't hungry at all, but I think he went to get some Taco Bell too. Maybe I'm mixing that up with another story, I don't know. In conclusion of this story, me and him were still able to hang out until I had to drop him off home. I went back home afterwards and ended up going up to another friend's house to smoke again. Probably what I should have done in the first place. The end. Once upon a time, I was door dashing once again with the same car, just another 3 weeks later. This time I had more people to hang out with for the day. After I went door dashing for a whole 4 hours, I went home to grab something to eat then, and I then went to hang out with a buddy in a car for a bit. He had chores to do after school, so he couldn't leave, but I would later try to get a weed sack off of him later that night. I then went to another friend's apartment. We hung out and smoked until we went to another friend's crib that was down the road. That friend was trying to get his motorcycle running so he could ride with his buddy who already had his own motorcycle running. It was already March too. We were pretty much like 4 or 5 months into the winter like weather already, and once it was hitting the 40s in temperature on top of the sunshine, that's actually considered warm here. But I'm still sick of this weather. At one point of the story, we all came back out of town together getting parts to fix the bike, and the person I initially picked up ended up hanging out with some other people while I would plan on posting up at the buddy's apartment after all the errands once I picked up a sack later that evening. Me and that apartment guy split ways with everyone else at a gas station as we start heading back towards my plug's crib at the time. We called him a plug and he had us meet him on the top of the downtown parking ramps as he was hanging out with a couple other people up there, as I mentioned a few seconds back. We pull up and get out of the car to say what's up and get on with the sale, and not even a full minute passes by and 3 police officers pull up simultaneously. Honestly, almost believed in the Matrix at that point, but then I caught wind of reality. I didn't do anything wrong and only had a piece in the car. I figured I could stay cool and not let them dig too deep. The cops actually pulled up because one of the homies that my plug was hanging out with threw a bunch of snowballs from up top at some cars, and some people from a bar next to us saw it and called the cops. Real smooth right there, man. To be fair, I was only 19 hanging out with some underages, I guess. One of the cops actually recognized me and the person I was going to pick up from, as we were both on probation in the same city, so that was fun. The guy who threw them snowballs ended up getting a warning since there was no ice in the snowballs and he didn't damage anything. I did have to pick everyone up, do the show elsewhere, and drop off some people at a house. I didn't want it to look like I came for a sale, and I didn't want to take my time and money for gas to bring everyone to their house when one of them wanted to do some dumb shit and literally got caught for it. I finally picked up a sack though, literally almost got caught trying to buy it. In conclusion of this story, I went back to bro's apartment to chill and smoke with him for a bit longer as we planned after I dropped everybody else off. My crib was only 7 blocks away from his stuff. I could have made the walk in 15 minutes. After the smoke session, I went back home, kept the weed in the car, and went back home to essentially another night's rest and another day trying to find a job. The end. The morals to both stories is don't post up at bad smoking spots like a parking lot in a car where a cop can pull up on you. You will get caught smoking. I would stick to private property if anything. A police officer actually told me that a couple years back. Don't throw snowballs at other people or their stuff. You might get the cops called or get yourself into a fight. Make sure to keep your head up during the struggle. Don't do bad drugs for the first time. Stay at work or in school, get a bag or some good grades, and keep watching my YouTube videos. That should be the end for this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time here. Again, if you like this video, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you're new to my content, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload. Follow me on all of my social media accounts, links will be in the description below. Share this video to anybody that's ever almost been arrested, and I'm probably going to upload another video today since I didn't on my last day off on Sunday, so stay tuned. Peace out.